Good morning, dear parents and students. Welcome to PBW channel.
Hello everyone, I'm Teacher Joanne. You can call me Teacher Ann, and I will be your teacher for today. Our subject for today is Science for Term 4 MAP, and our topic for today is Unit 4 Materials and Matters. We're going to review about finding the mass and the volume of matter. Now let's review about matter. Matter is any physical substance that has mass and takes up space by having volume. It's also known as anything that occupies space and mass. In short, matter is anything you can touch physically. Now let's review the different states of matter. Do you have any idea what are those? Now let's start. We have solid state, liquid state, and last one is gas state. Now let's review the answer on your science book, page 181, number 1. As you can see, we have the types of substances: salt, vapor, smoke, diesel fuel, oxygen, washing powder, milk carton, vinegar, granulated sugar, and rainwater. We also have solid state, liquid state, and gas state. Now, please check your answer if you got the correct one. Before we start with our lesson today, let's do some vocabulary. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Mass, volume, gravity, gram, kilogram, force, weight, and matter. Let's read it again one more time. Mass, volume, gravity, gram, kilogram, force, weight, and matter. This group of words are we going to study in this lesson. Now let's start to discuss about mass. What is mass? Mass is a measurement of how much amount of matter present in an object. Object means things, okay? The unit of mass is gram or kilogram. In order for you to understand the lesson, in common usage, the mass of an object is often referred to as its weight. Mass is a measure of how much matter an object is made up of. Mass remains constant. Constant means a situation or state that does not change, which means mass cannot be zero. Everything has mass, while weight is the measure of how the force of gravity acts upon that mass. So which means mass and weight are the same in mathematical theory, but in science, mass is the measurement of matter, while weight is the measure of force of gravity. Another explanation about mass and weight. The weight of an object depends on its mass. As you can see in the example, we have a boy holding a rock. Small mass or small rock, because the rock is the object in the picture, is equivalent to low weight. And we also have another boy. The object in the picture is the rock, which is quite bigger than the previous one. Large mass is equivalent to heavy weight. Now let's compare the mass and weight of an object. The weight of an object depends on gravity. The best example for this is the gravity on the moon and the gravity on the earth. As you can see in the picture, we have the same man in different locations. Let's start the man on Earth's gravity. The mass of the man is equivalent to 90 kilograms or 200 pounds. Now, let's bring the same man on the moon. The man standing on the moon, the gravity acts on the mass of the man, which is equivalent to 15 kilograms or 32.2 pounds. Why the mass of the same man is different? Do you know the answer? It is because the gravity on two locations aren't the same. The gravity on Earth and the gravity on the moon isn't the same, okay? So, which means if you go to different planets, you will have different mass. Understand? But if you remain on the Earth, but different country like Thailand to Philippines, Thailand to America, Thailand to UK, you will have the same mass because you're still on the Earth. Understand? Okay, very good. Now let's identify the different weighing scale to find the mass of an object. We have the different weighing scale in our daily life. We have compression balance, postal balance, table balance, spring balance, platform balance, Roman Steelyard balance, and electronic balance. When we go out, like when we go to the supermarket or any shop, they have different kinds of weighing scale, okay? Some of them use for small things or like weighing the grams, and some of them use in weighing heavy things like a sack of rice. Understand? So, in order for us to find the mass of an object, we need to weigh them. Okay? Understand? Very good. Finding the mass of an object in solid state. In measuring the mass of an object, we can use kilogram using the spring balance. We can also use spring balance indicating the grams. And also, we have the electronic balance to use when measuring the mass in grams. Finding the mass of an object in liquid state. To find the mass of an object in liquid state, we need to follow the steps. Number 1, we need to measure the empty beaker and record its mass. Afterwards, we need to pour water in it. Weigh the beaker with water to find the mass. And number 3, subtract the weight of the empty beaker from the weight of the beaker with water to get the actual mass of liquid. Example, empty beaker weigh 5 grams. Beaker with water weigh 100 grams. We need to subtract 5 to 100. So the answer is, do you know it? Yes, very good. It is 95 grams. So water in liquid state inside the beaker is 95 grams. Now let's talk about finding the mass of an object in gas state. In finding the mass of a gas state object, we need to follow the steps. Number 1. Measure flat balloon and record its mass. Number 2. Blow up the balloon and tie its mouth, then weigh it again to find the mass. Record your data, okay? And number 3. Subtract the weight of the flat balloon from the weight of the blown up balloon to get the actual mass of the gas inside the balloon. So example, flat balloon weigh 2 grams. Blown up balloon weigh 10 grams. What is the answer? Remember, we will use subtraction. Do you know the answer now? Yes, the answer is 8 grams. Very good. Now let's talk about finding the volume of matter. Volume refers to the amount of space of the object takes up. The unit volume is a cubic centimeter. In other words, volume is a measure of the size of an object, just like height, width are ways to describe the size. Also, if the object is hollow, hollow means empty. Volume is the amount of water it can hold. Now let's measure or find the volume of matter in solid state. For a geometrical shaped solid, we use the given formula to find its volume. The formula is volume equals width times length and times height. We will use multiplication, okay? But for a solid with a known shape, we use water displacement principle to find its volume. Like, for example, we have the stone with irregular or unknown shape. We also have the graduated cylinder with 150 milliliters of water. After we put the stone inside, the water level rose up into 180 milliliters. Now, we need to subtract, right? So, can you find the answer now? Do you have the answer? What is the volume of irregular shaped solid inside? Very good. So, it is 30 milliliter. The volume of water is 30 milliliters, so the volume of the stone inside is that one. Understand now? Okay, very good. Now let's find the volume of matter in liquid state. When finding the volume in liquid state, we need to use different utensils in measuring the liquid state. Usually, these things that we use is clear or transparent with measurement. The first one is we have measuring cup. We also have graduated cylinder. And we have syringe. To measure the water inside, as you can see, we need to use our eyes to look carefully at the measurement of liquid state inside the different measuring utensils. Okay? Do you understand now? Very good. Now let's find the volume of matter in gas state. In order for us to find the volume of matter in gas state, we need to use water displacement method. The boiling water produces gas or steam or vapor, okay? Goes inside the straw. Now, we put the straw connected to the aquarium with water and then the test tube upside down. As you can see, the space in the test tube is the gas collected from the boiling water. Okay, you understand? Next, we have the syringe. Whenever the boiling water produces the steam or the vapor, the plunger moves backward. And then the space that you can see, the arrow that has syringe, it is the volume of matter in gas state. Okay? Understand? Very good. Now let's have your review time using science book page 181, number 2. You need to check your answer, but if you don't have answer since you didn't attend the Zoom meeting, you can answer it now. Make sure you write it nicely so I can read your writing. Okay, we have types of substances. We have number 1, air. Number 2, book. Number 3, cooking oil. Number 4, sunglasses. And number 5, car fumes. We also have the property of matter. We have mass, needs space, shape, and volume. Okay, very good. So after you check your answer, now let's move to the next slide. The last part of our lesson for today is about review time, science book page 182. 182. Draw a mind map, a diagram, or summarize what we have learned. So we have states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. We also have the properties of solid, properties of liquid, and properties of gas. And lastly, we have the different example of solid, liquid, and gas. Don't forget, we studied already this one in Zoom. So if you are not yet finished writing, you can write it down now. After watching this video clip, please answer the following pages. Science book pages 183 and 184. And that is the end of our lesson. This is Teacher Joan saying, thank you and have a nice day.